Welcome to CSC 311 online video, and I'm going to be taking us on distributed systems, network and distributed systems. And I would not like to take too much of your time, so I will just go through most of what I'm going to talk about through the slides. And I will also share this document with you immediately after this lecture, so you can go through it and also have an understanding of what we're talking about. So quickly, before we go into the term distributed systems, we should first of all want to know what is the system and what is the scope of this class, and where we can get to in this very short time frame. The first thing we already know before now is that a system is a conglomerate, a get-together, or you can call it an organization of different units to achieve a specific task. You have the computing system, you have the election system, you have all forms of systems that defines that definition I just gave to us just now, whereby you have different units coming together to perform a task. You understand? So in this context, we are going to be looking at computer systems. Now, computer systems, when you add the word computer, it now means that, okay, you are bringing relatively electronic components or devices together to come up with a system. A system. So we already have all that knowledge before now. So when we now are talking about a system, it can be divided into two platforms. We have the hardware and we have the software. So both of them work in synergy to give us the term system. So hardware and software can be relative in the sense that you can call a desktop or a laptop or any of all these devices that you have that has a complete features of a computer and refer to it as a unit. But what we are talking about is having different forms of laptops, or we can refer to them as heterogeneous systems, all working together to perform a task. So for you to be able to do that, you need to understand how they are connected. That's the essence of the network. What form? How was the network realized that all these systems can come together and perform a specific task? Now, there is another line of thought that has taken it away from this perspective of having it being distributed, and they refer to it as cloud system. A distributed computing system or computing network is when multiple autonomous machines communicate through a central network to perform a common goal or task. You understand? But for the cloud computing, in that case, it's more of about computing as a service. So the thoughts, they transgressed from hardware now, providing hardware, to offering it as a service over a network. So that is the angle that I would love us to look at and be able to set up networks or set up organizations in that angle. Think towards that angle. Let me give for an example. No matter how hard I tell you that your MTN recharge card is or rather your mobile bills, no matter how much I convince you that you are paying your life's worth to these companies, you will still go ahead to go and buy a recharge card the next minute I finish talking. The reason is that, or even if you are making a lot of payments for this recharge card and you're not getting, maybe the network is slow and there are downtimes, you find yourself always complaining. But after complaining, you still go ahead to buy that card on your phone. Do you know what you have just done? You are actually demanding for service. You are actually demanding for service because the mass and the rest, they know you cannot afford it to be able to do what you know best to do. That means making your phone mobile. You cannot be able to achieve those. So a way of setting up a system whereby all these things will be connected together in order to give you that service. So that is exactly the mindset I want us to look at, whereby we have a situation whereby we have systems connected together to achieving a task, or we have an infrastructure that can provide us those services. When you now consider it as hardware and software, you can have that mindset or thought that, okay, this laptop is a system, and you are very, very right. But in the context that we're looking at it from now, we're looking at it from a holistic version whereby in order to achieve a particular service of maintaining your light bills, of having a smart home, of having a smart urban city or smart network, in order for you to have that, is just all you just need is the service, and you are willing to pay for the service. Now, take for example, you have in your homes a service whereby solar panels are installed, and all you don't care for whatever the cost of the solar panels are. The company comes and installs these devices in your premises, and all you just need to do is to have an account with them and have a smart card whereby you buy data from them, and the data is your money's worth. So when you load the data on the metering device that is in the compound, light comes, and depending on how the person uses the light, after the data has been used up, you find out that the light goes off. That alone is a system. So that's the essence of this course. How do we go about it? I'm going to introduce us into the cloud system and also the distributed system, but we are going to major more on the distributed system. Now, the architecture of that system or achieving that singular task is what this course is actually majored on. So let's look at the next slide. I hope I will not take too much of time. Okay. Now, we are going to look at the system types. What are the types of systems we can actually develop with using distributed systems? Now, we have systems, personal systems that are not distributed and that are designed to run on a personal computer like your laptop, your smartphones. Those, we can refer to them as personal systems. We also have what they call the embedded systems that run on a single processor or on an integrated group of processors. Like you have these intelligent bombs, you have some smart devices that runs on a single processor. Now, these devices now sometimes are often used by a distributed system. But in a distributed system, these are where systems or system software runs on a loosely integrated group of cooperating processors linked by a network. So that's what I was trying to explain when I was talking about these embedded systems, that I said that when you have this embedded system spread around the single processor, you now develop a system whereby all of them, you can collate all of them to give you either weather reports or to give you an output from the input that has been fed into them. So let's go to the next slide.